Those of you who have not read this chapter of Bleach, I suggest you read the chapter before watching the review, alright? So, spoilers be alert, bye. Hey guys, this is the Anime Dolphin. I'm here to review chapter 684 of Bleach. Now, as you may have told, I moved to a different location to record my videos because my office is currently occupied right now. So I'll be using this room for quite a while right now, including for the final review of Bleach next week. Now, the thing about this chapter, before I get to this, let me just address something. Even though this chapter was not very good, I understand like the rush pacing and all that, and it was not how the way Kubo would want to end, or at least this is not what the fans had expected. But again, this chapter gotta give us what we have, and this is all we can get. Just a final slash by Ichigo Zangetsu, and that's it. It just really is the final ending. It's just really kind of emotional for me right now since, well, this is the last moment we're going to see Ichigo swing his Zangetsu a lot. It's just kind of emotional for me right now. But anyways, this chapter of Bleach, it's really giving me a lot to talk about because, for one, from the beginning of where after Ichigo's unleashed his final Getsuga tension on Yhwach, he's starting to vanish. And then we got this moment between him and Aizen, and that he mentioned that Ichigo was the one that wasn't affected by Aizen's Kuryuka Soigetsu, and meaning that Ichigo is the one that never fall for his illusion when he unleashed his Shikai. Now, I really don't know. I really didn't understand that part. Maybe he actually kind of explained that during the Iran card, but I don't remember that one. But obviously, this was the final component, and Ichigo was the one to be the final piece. And then, of course, this is probably the more shocking and possibly the more disappointment for the fans is, of course, all the shadows is sucking away Aizen. Meaning that Aizen is being drawn to the shadows. Yeah, and Yhwach suddenly is not giving up for just 1 minute and unleashes like this more demon-like form and covering the whole shadows and almost killing Ichigo. That was very intense for her right now, and this is where the rush pacing comes to mind, where Yhwach gets struck through the chest by the silver arrow that Uryu just shot, and immediately we get a bit of a dialogue between inner monologue of how the arrow works, and meaning that, in other words, that it was able to withstand Yhwach's powers, or at least for now. So unless Ichigo has enough time, well, of course he does, this is like the final 2 chapters, he goes for one final swing, and then all of a sudden, this is where the more confusing part comes in, where his entire Bankai just completely shatters. It somehow turns into his regular Shikai, the original Zangetsu, the one that we saw from the very beginning when Ichigo figure out the name of his Zanbato. But again, even with that, this was kind of confusing for me a little bit. But this is all we can get. This is all Kubo can show all that time, and that just really was confusing for me. I don't know how, but even with that, we get that inner monologue inside Yhwach saying that dream he had, the one that we saw a couple of chapters ago, about that was a dream about where he defeated Ichigo. That was actually not a dream, more like a vision from the future by Hashwald. Yeah. Not quite know how that relates to that. Actually, yeah, it actually relates to that. I don't know why I said that. And then the chapter ends with Ichigo cutting Yhwach in half, and that's basically the chapter end. That's basically how it ends. Now, in my opinion, this was a great chapter, but with the rush pacing, this is not how Bleach could have ended like that. I mean, if Kubo could have more time, or at least let the editors and Jump let Kubo have more time on his story, then we would get the proper ending that we need. But this is all that Kubo could have wanted. Not to say I blame Kubo for rushing the story. I just don't really know who to blame. The only thing I kind of blame is the fact, of course, about Jump. ending Bleach so early. It's just that I did not expect Bleach to end this early. I mean, I know this was like the final arc of Bleach, but I didn't expect it to end this quickly. It's just kind of disappointing me from now on because, well, not disappointing, but it lists in the next final chapter, this all gets redeemed, and we get like the cover page, with the cover, like all the pages in color like we did with Naruto, and more, and I say about 30 or 40 pages long like with Naruto. This could be a proper ending, but again, this is all we can do. I mean, this is all that we got. This is all that Kubo could have done in this kind of pace, and only wish that Kubo had more time. It's just, this is really like a great series that that really needs to be well explained. I mean, they can't just somehow rush the whole story and just entirely end it immediately. No, this is going by for say like getting the new issue very quickly, and they had to replace the old series very quickly. So that's what they do for Bleach. And not only Bleach, also like other series like Toriko, Nanosuke, and Gintama is also ending very soon. And with Bleach, this was the big rush in this chapter. Not quite what everyone was expecting for being like the final 2 chapters of Bleach, but this is all we can got. That's all I have to say, alright? So, what are your thoughts about this chapter, alright? Because my thoughts... Okay, even though, like, in the beginning, like, I was kind of shocked to see that Aizen was, being sucked by the shadows, and, I really do, and this is really not the way how he's supposed to end, but again, this is all we can get, alright? And not to mention, Uryu, but on a positive note, we got, at least Uryu got at least like a proper shine to this chapter, unleashing the arrow bow, the silver arrow. And at first, many people thought that this arrow was going to be like useless since, well, Ichigo already finished him up, but it actually had a purpose, believe you and me. And not to mention, seeing Ichigo using his old Shikai, the old Zangetsu, this was kind of the confusing part. I don't know when the entire blade was shattered, it turned back into the regular Shikai. I don't know how that happened. It was just so confusing, and the rushing, it was not well explained. Yeah, this was just like an average chapter, alright? But this is all we can get. That's all I had to say, alright? So, that's basically what I have to talk about. So, what are your thoughts about the next final chapter of Bleach? Will we get a proper epilogue, and will we actually get a conclusion of Bleach? Will we get the ending like it's supposed to deserve? Because I just feel like Bleach deserves more than this, than what it has already. It just, really just kind of disappointing. I mean, that's all I'm saying. Even though I liked the chapter, there were some parts of me that kind of felt a bit disappointed. Not too disappointed, but average. That's basically what I say, alright? So, what are your thoughts about this chapter, of course? Did you enjoy it? Did you find it or not too much? But that's basically what I got. Just an average chapter, alright? So let's just hope that in the next final chapter, this all can be concluded, alright? And hopefully Bleach get the ending like it's deserved, alright? So that's basically what I had to say, alright? So please be sure to like the video, like it, dislike it, didn't like it, and please be sure to subscribe to my channel because I am so awesome and I'm trying the best as I can to improve for future videos. And please be sure to leave your thoughts down below, what you thought about this chapter, anything I may have missed or I made a mistake on. Please do so right now because I really do appreciate it, alright? That's basically what I have to say, alright? So thank you and good night.